Good morning, everybody. My name is Deborah Byrne from Dbpsychology Services, known as Dbpsychology across social media. This morning, I'm going to talk about being living childless, or child-free is another word that's used. Now, this isn't about infertility. Okay, I'm not going to talk about infertility today. It has nothing to do with it. This is purely a 100% choice made by an adult who wishes to live without children. It can be a very controversial subject because adults can come under increased pressure from their families and from society to conform to what would be considered the norm, and that would be to have children. But it shouldn't be. I mean, it really shouldn't be. It should be a 100% choice made by you, the adult, as an adult. Now, I will say something before I get started. As I've spoken about in other videos, your brain as a teenager and as a young adult doesn't fully form until you're 26. So my only caveat to everything that I'm going to talk about this morning is, please try and wait until you're at least over 26 before you make, you decide 100% that this is a lifestyle, this is whatever your choice, whatever you decide, or whatever your reason is for you to decide this, that you wait until you're over 26 at the very least. And then, give it some thought. Don't just make a willy-nilly, reason or answer or need to do it, or why I'm going to do it, or this is my, why I'm doing it. Please give it some thought, some consideration, and, be 100% firm in yourself that this is a choice you want to make for yourself. And why I say that is because you are going to get put under pressure by your family and friends. You are going to feel the pressures of society for having made that decision. So once you are 100% certain within yourself, you'll be able to withstand that, and you won't be arriving in on my doorstep looking for therapy as a result of what's going on. So, in saying all that, the other thing I would say, now I have put it down as being a couple. Okay, it's about relationships, this week's blog, and it's at www.dbpsychologyservices.com. And at some point in your life, hopefully you will get into a relationship with somebody else, and you will have come to that decision yourself. You are 100% certain you don't want to have children in your life. The other thing I would say to you is, then you need to have very early on in your relationship a conversation about that. You need to be 100% sure yourself, and the other person in the relationship also needs to be 100% certain that they wish also to be and live child-free. Difficulties will definitely arise in your relationship when the other partner is not 100% behind this. It's very common for this to happen. One partner does not want children, and the other partner decides, I'm going to go along with it because I love that person. That's not going to work in the long term, guys. It just will not work. You both must come to the conclusion individually, and then as a couple, that you're going to live child-free or childless. Now, the reasons people choose to do this is varied. I can give you a list of some of the reasons that have come out of some of the studies that have been done, and I can give you a list of the pros and cons as well to consider in your decision making. But as I said, at the end of the day, the reasons for any decision somebody makes can be as varied as the individuals there are on this planet. Totally personal decision, and as I said, you need to be 100% certain that you're making any decision in your life. Any decision at all should be, as close to 100% as you can get, certain that this is for you, whether it be whatever it is. Now, some of the reasons people do are financial, because they feel, they haven't got the money, in fact, to bring children. And this is as a couple, they feel they do not have the money to bring children into this world, and they do not have the means by which they want to, or they need to, they need in order to support the child. The other reason a lot of people are giving is environmental. People are seeing it that, the planet we live on is, got a finite amount of resources, and therefore they choose, for that reason alone, they say, no, I'm going to, it would be detrimental to bring a child onto this planet. They're already caring for an elderly relative, so the reason they say there is that it would be just too much strain, too much pressure. They're already caring for their parents or some other elderly relative. They are their, sole carer, maybe the sole family breadwinner, and they just can't do it. It would be too much pressure on them. Another reason people give is a genetic reason. They say that, it's to do with either a physical or a mental illness has occurred in the family. It's a genetic thing, and they feel, no, we're not going to take the risk. The other thing is about they themselves have suffered neglect and abuse, and they feel, no, I can't bring a child into this world because of that. I just can't. I can't do that. I can't raise a child, given my family history. The other reasons a lot of people think of are career and lifestyles. That's the most common that other people would assume people are assuming that people are childless because of choice. They want to have a career. They want to have the lifestyle, the interests, the hobbies, the travel. But I don't think that's just, and it isn't just for, oh, well, I want to have my career and I'm not willing to sacrifice anything to do with that and have children. It's not just about that. I want to be able to travel at a moment's notice. It's not just about that. And I think it would be very wrong and very detrimental of other people to judge anybody's decision. It is their decision, their choice, and I think that would be very wrong for anyone else to judge somebody who makes this decision. There are just some of the reasons people give at the moment that we know of. We also know that it is on the rise. It's actually, I've quoted some statistics. I don't like quoting stats. But there are some statistics in the blog, and you can check them out. There is a huge jump, particularly since World War II. Well, that's a long time ago. Even since the 70s, there's been a huge jump in people choosing to live childless and child-free. Now, some of the pros and cons. So some of the pros and cons, of course, would be, you're going to have more time. You're going to have more time to invest in your career. You're going to have more time to invest in your interests, your hobbies, your friends, travel. You're going to have more time for you, and you're going to have more time for you as a couple. Of course, more time is definitely going to be there for you. You're also going to be able to make decisions based on your needs, and maybe you as a couple, the couple's needs, rather than having to take into account the needs of somebody who is 100% dependent on you. And then the other reason, and it is to do with the reason sometimes the reason why, in terms of the environment, some people choose then, if they've made that reason to, we're not bringing a child into the planet, there are already enough people living here. We want to live childless or child-free as a result. They also tend to, see it as a pro that they can then put their efforts and time and money and everything else they've got into supporting a charity to do with, promoting the environment, something to do with of humanity, anything like that, any kind of charity that's going to better, better the world as a whole, including the people on the planet that we're living on. They would see that as a big pro in terms of making this choice. Now, in terms of the cons, well, the cons are, the big one is going to be, you're going to feel like a misfit. Yes, you are going to be treated like a misfit. And yes, you're going to have a huge amount of pressure put on you by family, by friends. And as a result, another con can be you're going to lose family and friends. They just cannot support you in the decision you've made. And this is why I say to you, think the decision through very clearly, because you're going to have that pressure. And you want to make sure that you are 100% certain at the center of your core, this is what I want to do. And that's with any decision in life. Some decisions we can't be 100% sure, but we can get as close as possible. The other two would be, you're not going to have anybody to look after you in your old age. I'm sure there would be somebody. There always is. The other one then we would say was, well, there's not going to be any grandchildren. But, you've got nieces, nephews, you've got friends, kids, we always have somebody that we can spoil. Even if we do have grandchildren, there's always somebody you can be involved in their lives as they're growing up, and they would be more than happy to have you. And, there's always somebody there. The last thing, and I think it's a big one as well as the pressure you'll feel from society, is the what if moments. And don't kid yourself if you think you're not going to have the what if moments. The what if moments are going to be, what if when you see your niece, your nephew, or a friend's child baptized, communions, bar mitzvahs, weddings, college graduations, even graduating from preschool to primary school, you're going to have a what if moment. Be prepared for it. It should, if you are very clear about your decision, it should pass very quickly, but it's still going to give you a wobble. And don't be surprised at that. Be prepared. Okay, I'm going to have a wobble. I may have a wobble that day. I may feel, oh my, what if? But at the end of the day, if you've made the decision for yourself, and then if you've made the decision as a couple, it shouldn't last very long, and you'll be able to enjoy the day if you're attending, and you'll love it. You'll love your nieces and nephews and your friends' kids, so you will enjoy it. So, but be prepared. Be prepared for that. So I'm going to finish at that. As I said, if you're not 100% certain of your decision, I would recommend talking to somebody like me. Come and talk to a psychologist about, why you're making that decision. If you're not clear, if you need clarity, a few sessions, 3, 4, maybe 6 sessions, and you should be able to work it through with the psychologist as to why you really want to be child-free or childless. The last thing I would say to you is never let anybody else force you into this decision. It's your life. You get to live it whatever way you want to live it. So don't go along with somebody else. If they've made that decision and you're in a relationship, do not go along with this decision. Just don't go along with any decision if you're just to keep a relationship happy. It's not just about this. It's about any other decision, any other major decision in a relationship should be a joint decision, and not because, the other person wants it. At the end of the day, I can guarantee you that will have such a detrimental effect, and you will end up splitting up. You will probably end up splitting up or end up really, really miserable in that relationship. So I will leave it there today. And again, I said, check out the blog. It's at www.DeborahByrnePsychologyService.com, and I will see you again next Wednesday. we have mental health awareness for men next week, and on Monday, if anybody's around, it's the 18th of June, and it is Dad's mental health. So if you blog, if you if you do a blog, if you're a dad and you do a blog, or if you're a man and you do a blog, please come along and support. Even if you're a mum or a woman, if you could support men's mental health next week, it's such a big topic, and I really would appreciate the support internationally. We're doing a big thing on Monday with Facebook Lives, and it's in fact starting. I'll go California, West Coast of America, all the way over to Australia. So I'm going to go that way across the planet. International Day on Monday, but if you can support at all next week by even retweeting or posting on Facebook any blogs or anything you see that would be of interest to support men's and dad's mental health. So I will leave it at that, and thank you very much for listening, and I will see you all again next Wednesday.